And we
Yeah, no, I
are,
promise I got this.
sorry, buddy, we're having some streaming issues trying to get Mitch into the X space right now. And
Yep.
Mitch, did you figure it out?
Yeah, I think
Streaming issues trying to get Mitch into the X space right now.
I should be good in a second.
Mitch, did you figure it out?
I got in on my phone, but I failed to get in on my laptop, and we should be good in 2 seconds. All right, perfect. I'm in there. All right, I'm getting off the phone because that's just a disaster.
Well, in the meantime, while Mitch
Real good.
solves his issues, I think I'm getting some echo. I am not getting echo anymore. Yeah, nice. In the meantime, I can let everyone know how we're doing in the monthly active users side of things. And yeah, so October, we have updated until the 7th of the month. And we have very good news. The record was set in August in terms of monthly active users, 905. Then September experienced a little bit of a setback, just very small, 10%. We at around the 7th of the month, we were 810, and right now we are 951. So we are on our way to breaking all-time high after all-time high. So the threaders in total, we are also at the very best month of the year. We have 607 short form content creators, which is pretty good. If you have paid attention in the previous AMAs and you just didn't have us on the background while you were playing video games or just working, you would notice that threads had been in a bit of a downtrend in the past few months. But it seems like we're breaking out. So if this was a price chart, people would call the bottom already. So we're doing pretty good. And in terms of content creators, which is you could say, the strong part of Inleo in terms of monthly active users, this is the second best month of the year. So we're also so that translates actually to the monthly active users. So we're good on monthly active users, and we're also good in the two other sections of the metrics that we have. Commenters or content consumers, if you may. We're still hovering around the first week of the month. We are hovering around between 150 and 220. Right now we're at 190. So pretty much on track. That means we need more content consumers on Inleo. So if you have any feedback on how we can improve the user experience, just let us know, make a thread, tag it feedback, and let us improve based on your opinions. Hey, Mitch. Hey, Kyle. How are you guys?
Yeah, we're doing well. We've got creator subscriptions are now live. So that's obviously been heavy focus. But yeah, the activity on the UI looks pretty solid. This has been our smoothest launch to date. So we've, I actually held back the launch. So talked about it last week during the AMA that I was aiming to get it live, last Tuesday. And then we found some bugs with the claiming process, which, ultimately led us to fixing that and then fixing some other bugs. And then obviously while fixing those, I was able to just keep testing and finding more stuff. So the team, helped me test, and then we found, more bugs and fix all those. And then by the time we fixed, the majority of stuff that we had noticed up to that point, it was already Friday. So then I decided to hold the launch until Monday. So then we had a whole, extra weekend to continue testing and fixing. And I think that led us to pretty much having, one of the smoothest launches in terms of a new feature that we've ever had. So, I'm pretty happy with that at the end of the day. And we've definitely gotten better at our launches and making them smoother and more bug free. you obviously can never be, fully bug free, but I think you can make, there's definitely some things that we can do to make it more bug free over time. And obviously, as the team gets bigger, it's much easier to do that as well. I see Self Help Patrol said he made his first subscription. Love hearing that. Yeah, I think the feature is really incredible, both from a front end and back end perspective. It's actually one of the biggest things we've ever done because it literally is and I put out a thread that talked about like the 8 major new things when it comes to um, this new feature. But it from front end and back end, I mean, there's just so many upgrades and updates. We introduced encrypted content. We added new feeds for content. We added new pages to the UI, new features in the dashboard. We built an entire payment rail for it. We added recurring payments. We added the ability to claim payments and subscriber revenue. And many other things. So, and then we also added a whole new container backend specifically for long form encrypted blog posts. So, I mean, there's just so much wrapped up into this one update. It's pretty incredible that it went as smooth as it did. And really, there hasn't really been that many bugs that have been found. I would say more so just holes in terms of more things that we need to add rather than bugs. So, extra features, some styling updates. It's really more feedback on the implementation rather than bugs themselves. So I've been pretty happy to see that overall. And yeah, Tass said the ability to private threads is huge. Yeah. It's really incredible. And I think it's just going to be, we've seen, I think about 23 subscriptions so far, in terms of, all the, subscribing to any creator. So there's a total of 23 out there, paying 5 HBD a month. So, I definitely want to see that grow. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how everything's going, in terms of the launch and overall feature set. I've been making a bunch of encrypted threads and blogs, and it's been going pretty smoothly so far. Self Help Patrol said, "How do I know who's subscribing to me? I only see a number." Yeah, that's kind of what I mentioned, is that more so than bugs, we're getting, kind of new feature requests. So yeah, we'll add a, subscriptions list, and you'll be able to see who's subscribing to you. But right now you can just go to the dashboard, and it'll predict how much you're making each month based on obviously how many current subscribers you have. And then it also shows you your lifetime earnings. So, it'll show you the total number of subscribers, but not who's subscribed to you. So the workaround for that, until we do add the feature of a list, would be to go to the @Leo subscriptions account, which is where all the subscription payments are routed through. And then you can look at the memos, and you can just search your own username, and then you'll be able to see who's subscribed to you. So that's kind of the workaround until we build a list into the update. Ahmad Manga said, shameless plug, I'm developing a Hive bot, and I'll be using my subscribers $5 per month to fund working on it. If you have $5 to spare, take your time to learn about it. And then he linked the account. Yeah, I've actually been watching that, and I also subscribed, because I think that's a really cool use case for creator subscriptions. And that's where I'd like to lead things next, would be, that creator subscriptions are really what you make of it. So it's what the community makes of it. I put out a blog post this morning. If you go to my account, you can see what I plan to do with my creator subscription. So I'm going to do a lot of behind the scenes. I'm going to have a weekly newsletter, a couple private threads per day, a private AMA once a month, which will include kind of like a road mapping session where you guys can essentially, give live feedback on the roadmap and then actually guide the development. If you're one of my subscribers, so you'll get kind of more of an insider look behind the scenes of what we do as a team, and how Inleo is being developed. So that's what I'm planning to do with my creator subscription. But Ahmad Manga's got this idea for subscribing to him and then supporting his development of the reminder bot. And I think that that's really cool, and just overall just a way for, really we built this payment rail, we built this subscriber system, and it's truly a way that everybody can, find a creative method to monetize their Hive account. So at the end of the day, it's really just what you make of it in terms of a creator and subscriber. So if if you're a creator or if you run a project on Hive, I've already put out some ideas about, for Simple Game and some of the other people that are developing games on Hive. I think you could do some really interesting stuff with like, exclusive digital content or exclusive digital, what would be the word? Um, Kind of like what DLCs are in the gaming world, like exclusive digital rights to certain things. And I think that that can be done now with creator subscriptions. So I talked to someone at HiveFest who also makes really great blog posts, and he was saying that he wants to do kind of like, read two parts and then get the other parts, like a 5-part series. You'd read the first 2 parts and they're free, and then the other 3 parts would be behind the paywall. So, he would entice people to come in and read those first few parts of the story, and then if you want to finish the story, you got to be a subscriber. So I think really there's just so many different ways you can use this. So Eric, Mitch, whichever one of you wants to go, what do you think are some of the best ways that people can use creator subscriptions? What are some creative ideas you might have seen, whether it's on Inleo or outside of Inleo on Substack and other subscription based platforms?
Yeah, I mean the that other
Mitch,
idea
I think
that
you're
kind
muted
of
on the
already
on
got.
the space.
Oh, yeah. Unmute. Um, yeah, the other idea that basically just organically happened that, kind of Ahmad Manga's doing, I think it's a great idea where you can essentially, crowdfund through subscription. It's just like, hey, I'm working on X, Y, Z. Do you, want to support it? And then, obviously the content would be giving updates on whatever it is that you're building. And if there's people that, want that product or believe in it or whatever it is, then, you work that subscription model to literally like crowdfund your project. So I think that's pretty cool. As opposed to, option one, which is just straight, content creation and people paying to consume your content. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff last few weeks while I was away all over the place. I saw some questions, and I actually have some questions too. But I know Ahmad Manga asked if there was a limit to the text length on the sub-only encrypted posts since they're considered comments. I was curious about that, and then I'm also curious about when someone turns on the subscriber thing. Like, is that it? Like, because I guess my thing is where, because I read the post and I still kind of was like, all right, well, how do I create content that's subscriber only? But again, maybe because I didn't see it. In fact, I have to renew my premium apparently because that expired while I was away. So yeah, those are some questions that I saw and that I also had. But overall, pretty awesome. I think this is going to be a huge feature and tool the Inleo community.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be a huge kind of moment for us to really take off and add a lot of monetization for the platform and for, individual creators. So for the comment part, the length of the encrypted blog posts, um, it's the same as comments on Hive. So they can be pretty long. But they are limited by the same as what comments are limited to. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's not like people are writing 100,000 word blog posts. And
Yeah.
then for the second part of that, what was the second part of the question? Was it that you need to be premium for?
Well, I think you, based on the
I think you're
post,
muted
you do need
again.
to be premium in order to turn on the subscriber model, correct?
Um, Mitch, I think you're muted in the space.
I don't know. I guess I hit it just auto response once I stopped talking. Um, yeah, so from what I read from the post was that you have to be premium in order to turn on subscriber mode,
Right,
essentially,
right.
which makes sense. I think that's, totally how it should be. Um, And then when you do that, though, I guess, is it at that point organically obvious how that works? Or because it's like you turn on subscriber mode, it's like, all right, sweet, I'm going to put out content that is just for my subscribers. How does that get deciphered as a creator?
So we kind of did something interesting where, and I'll answer that by describing how the system works. Um, and I talked about this a little bit in the last AMA, but instead of the encryption being directly from the user to the person they're subscribing to, so that's how other encrypted content works on chain, is, people have like the encrypted messaging, and then you actually have to put in your memo key for each specific user, and then actually decrypt it. What we've done is create basically a kind of proxy watchtower where that watchtower is the one doing the encryption and decryption. So by doing that, we solved a couple different issues. One is that I know a lot of people on Hive who don't have their memo key anymore. And that obviously creates a limitation because they didn't think it was important, and then they didn't save it, and whatever reasons they've got. So there was that. The other thing is like people who log in with, Leo Auth and other services, like if they don't have their memo key in, or Hive Signer, for example, you have to enter your memo key every time you want to decrypt something. So that's also very annoying. So we solved the user experience issue from that perspective. And then another thing that we were able to solve with that, which kind of answers your question about premium, is in order for a creator to have a creator subscription live on the UI, they have to be a revolving premium subscriber on Inleo. So basically, if your premium expires, basically the ability to claim creator subscription revenue will go away. So you won't be able to claim, basically like the claim button for creator subscription revenue will get deactivated after your premium runs out. So what that will mean is even if people continue to subscribe to you and you continue to post private content, you won't be able to claim it unless you're premium. And then after a certain period of time, it'll actually fully deactivate. So if you were to like deactivate your premium and then reactivate, deactivate, reactivate, eventually your creator subscription features would just completely go away. So there's a couple reasons behind that, but obviously a big one being, a use case for being Inleo premium. So in order to have a creator subscription, you need to have premium. So there's kind of a big use case behind that, but also a great reason to have filtering and other things as well. So yeah, I hope that solves both of those.
No, it definitely creates more clarity. I'm
You're
sure a lot
muted
of people
again,
have
Mitch.
questions. Ah, I, I keep being a good guest and muting after I'm done. So no, I think that creates more clarity. I mean, you just that post just came out, and this is relatively new, and I'm sure people have a lot of questions. So I just figured the more detail we can give, the better. And and obviously you guys are seeing the same questions floating through the threadcast that I'm seeing. It's pretty cool.
To me, okay, so maybe this is just for a small percentage of content consumers, but the best use case that I can think of, at least in my area of expertise or where I'm involved, is when SocialFi came out a year ago and people were excited about it. They were excited because they had access to a content creator's exclusive content. And the problem with this was that, the way they managed this was pretty much a vector of attack or a liability in terms of regulations, because people were just launching their tokens willy-nilly. There was a lot of manipulation. There was a lot of crime around. And, you had no way to control how your own token would perform. And, that's the reason why it didn't work, because you just had a bunch of degens going around paying for stuff, getting access to exclusive content, manipulating charts, etc., etc. But in here, when you have a main token or a general use case token that decides what to do, and you manage it as a subscription and not as a share or as a key that gives you, because when the SEC looks at this kind of stuff, they are like, okay, is the investment promising any kind of return, or is the investor expecting any kind of return? Then you and then you have to sell the asset. Then it comes then it becomes tricky, you know. But in here, you're just basically just paying for a content subscription, and then the creator is not liable to provide anything of value. So, to like long story short, people can use this subscription model to give alpha and to provide insights about the market without being liable by the SEC. So I'm pretty sure that once people get to know about this model, they are going to see how it solves what SocialFi didn't at its moment.
So
Mitch, you're muted again.
I have, oh my goodness, I keep doing it. I'm so good that I'm bad. Um, so I mean, Eric makes a good point, which is something we don't even have to worry about with this specific model, which is awesome. Um, and then I had more of a, I guess, technical question in terms of the way it all operates. So I saw someone asked, you have to have premium to get access to premium. So obviously, if you want to be a subscriber creator, whatever the freaking term I'm looking for is, you have to have premium. But as a consumer, I'm assuming you don't need, like, if let's say hypothetical, I'm not premium and I want to subscribe to Eric, I don't need to be premium in order to subscribe to him, or do I?
Yes, you have to be premium to be able to access.
No, you
No,
don't have to be
no, no,
premium.
no.
You don't
Yeah,
have to be
you have to
premium
be
to
able.
subscribe to other creators. You have to be premium to
Yeah,
create a
you have to
creator
be premium.
subscription.
Yeah,
Yeah, I figured
yeah,
that much. I
exactly.
just wanted to put it out there anyway, so we just had it, on record because yeah, that would kind of not make sense. It would obviously
Yeah,
put
well,
a
it's kind of like if you wanna run a shop in a town, you pay taxes to that town. For example, you might own a storefront, and pay property taxes on that storefront, to the town that you're operating in. I would look at it as somewhat of a similar thing that in order to have a creator subscription, you need to have an active premium subscription. Um, for many reasons, including that you're kind of paying your dues to the platform that you're building on.
makes sense.
I'm going through some of these questions. Vic Van asked a few different questions about Hive's policies and social norms around content creation, and I think most of you know where I stand on a lot of those things. I'm not a believer in the Hive policies in general. And when you say Hive policies, there are no Hive policies. It's a blockchain. You can post anything you want. There are social norms though on Hive, and there's also certain parties, really just one party that we all know of, that dislike certain activities on the blockchain. I completely reject a lot of those things. And a big reason why Inleo is built the way it's built is to live outside of those norms and live outside of those social policies. So, even including, creator subscriptions, where now we've got the ability to encrypt private content, on the chain. One thing was we were going to do doing blog posts. We could have done L1 blog posts where they actually got posted to the Hive blockchain, but were encrypted. But one of the big reasons we did that is there's a lot of creators on Hive who make, say 2 to 3 blog posts a day. And that is kind of within Hive's, social norms around how many blog posts you can make per day, auto voters and all that nonsense. And to launch creator subscriptions, if they were to do let's say a fourth, a third or fourth blog post per day, as an extra one that's encrypted to their private subscribers only, and it was also on the L1, then there could be some issues, in terms of the social norms around what's allowed and what isn't, or what gets downvoted and what doesn't. So what we did to get around that is actually build containers for the encrypted blog posts as well. So by doing it through containers, we did very much the same thing that we innovated with Threads, which is to get around the L1 blogging layer. So, you know, I've been a long time believer in that. I've been talking about it for years, and then obviously Inleo was the creator of the, you know, whole container idea. So, you know, when we launched the whole container thing, a lot of people said this would never work. And now you see that every UI has integrated containers. And I think it's just obvious that, you know, getting away from this kind of L1 blogging approach is really important. You know, just getting around those social norms in general. And really the mission behind Inleo, you know, is to empower creators, you know, small and mid-sized, especially because they're underserved on other platforms. And a big piece of that is allowing people to just use social media because it's fun, because they create what they want to create, and they, you know, upvote what they want to upvote. So I've been very much pushing to get away from this, you know, these social norms around what's allowed and what isn't. And that was kind of the idea behind Project Blank, which is now Threads, and which has ultimately become Inleo and all the different features we've created, is really to get away from those norms, and build something that is superior. So I think that's what we have now. And, you know, you're allowed to create whatever you want to create on Inleo. You know, you make threads, you make shorts, you make blogs, you know, and those are public facing, and you build your brand. And then as your brand gets built, now you can also monetize your brand outside of even just the rewards pool. You can monetize it with a creator subscription. And, you know, if you're someone like a Taskmaster who's built a, you know, a loyal audience and people who like to see his content, he can launch a creator subscription, and he already has, and then post, you know, private threads and private blogs, and soon private videos also, to his audience. And, you know, he can get creator support for that. So, you know, I could foresee a day where someone like Taskmaster is earning, you know, more than enough money to live every month, from what he creates on the blockchain. So that's been a really important piece to me, is that we need to get away from all these social norms, whether it's encrypted content or you know, public facing content. Vic Van also said, how does the Inleo interface benefit from this feature? It benefits in a lot of ways, and one thing I put in the title of this is about the Leo token. So you know, in the original blog post, I talked about some of the features and why it's so beneficial for the UI, for engagement, et cetera, and then also for the actual creators. So I think there's two really big pieces. One is that creators get a huge benefit, because now they can monetize their accounts. Whereas, you know, before the launch of creator subscriptions, the only way to monetize your account on Hive has been through the rewards pool, either the Hive rewards pool or the Leo rewards pool, or both if you use Inleo.io, when you post your content. So, you know, we've created a new way to earn outside of just the rewards pool. And I think that that's really powerful for all of you guys. And then I think the second piece to it is there is a 1 to 5% fee on every single creator subscription payment. So you guys will notice that when you claim your subscription revenue as a creator, you get anywhere from 95% to 99% of the revenue. And I put this in the blog post, but there's 3 tiers. So tier 1 is 0 to 10 subscribers. So if you have anything under 10 subscribers, then you pay a 5% fee on your subscription revenue, and then 95% goes to you. If you have 11 to 49 subscribers, then you pay a 3% fee, and you get to keep 97%. And if you have more than 50 subscribers, you only pay a 1% fee, and you keep 99%. So there's 3 tiers, and it's basically there to incentivize you to grow your subscriber base, and then it also makes it kind of more economically viable for the platform, in terms of, you know,
So Cal,
think of them like customers. Yeah.
what is, I mean, I'm going to ask instead of making assumptions. So the revenue generated that goes to Inleo, what happens with that revenue? What's it being applied to?
Yeah, it's a good question. So if you track, you can actually track the payments in that Leo subscriptions account on chain. So again, a huge benefit of building everything on the blockchain is that all this stuff is super transparent. So you can actually see when someone claims, so when someone sends HBD to subscribe to another user, they send 5 HBD to @Leo subscriptions, and then with the memo, it dictates who that subscription is attributed to. And then the HBD sits in that account until the creator claims it. When the creator claims that HBD, it sends the, so let's just assume that the creator has less than 10 subscribers. it sends 95% of the HBD to the creator, and then it sends the other 5% to the @Leo pool account, which if you guys notice, that's where your premium subscription revenue also goes. So, for Inleo Premium, all the payments go to @Leo pool. So Leo pool buys with 100% of that revenue, it buys Leo, and then it permapools it on the Maya blockchain as Leo Cacao liquidity. And if you look in the Inleo
Oh,
docs, yeah, so it a set like TLDR, it goes to the same place as premium revenue. And
that was my assumption,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I figured I'd ask. So, and that'll be my parting question. I did just reactivate my premium, so I'm looking forward to checking out all the new features. I want to get back in front of my machine in a couple hours. Um, Sorry for the cameo. I got to bounce. I got an appointment at 1. I got to jump in the car for now, but I'm glad I was able to jump in with you guys for a few, and awesome stuff happened in the last few weeks. So love it. Per in Leo's usual, onwards and upwards. Keep building, right?
yep,
So
absolutely. Yeah, thanks.
appreciate you guys letting me jump in real quick, and I will see you all next week
Yeah,
probably.
thanks, Mitch. Appreciate you coming on. Good to see you again after a few weeks. So yeah, if
Awesome.
you're around, we'll
All
see you
right,
next
thanks
week.
guys. I'll see you
All right,
soon.
yep, see you, Mitch.
Good to hear about you, Mitch. And
Eric, I think your camera went out on Zoom.
that's weird.
Vic Van said, so a new user on Inleo can become a creator and the next day start having subscribers. Yeah, a new user could literally join the platform. They just have to subscribe to premium and then they unlock all the creator features. So yeah, they could just on day one start getting subscribers. And I think that's really important because, part of the reason we actually built this feature was because, Eric and I have been talking to a lot of different creators, outside of the Hive blockchain, out there in the space, in the broader space of, crypto and other spaces as well. And a big thing for most, I mean, pretty much for every creator you talk to is how can I increase my revenue as a creator? Because, it's kind of like the time tested thing of like the struggling artist, like most creators are struggling unless they're huge. So that's why, I've kind of, if you've noticed, my wording of the Inleo mission has kind of adapted lately, to being, that we're heavily focused on the small to medium sized creators, because I think that this is a really valuable niche for us. Is, we're building an entire social media platform here. So, you know, chasing after everybody means that we have to compete with Web 2. And I don't think that we can compete with Web 2. And I've been pretty clear about that for a long time. But I do think that we've got a very interesting niche that we can carve out with small to medium-sized creators. And I talked about this in my can't speak today. My HiveFest presentation was largely about putting everything on chain, and doing so allows people to earn rewards instantly, no matter how small or large they are as a creator. It also allows them to put everything in a censorship resistant environment. And by doing that, even if they got removed from the platform, they can always go to the blockchain and get their data. So, I've kind of adapted our mission to be that we're chasing after the small to medium sized creator who, if you really think about how social media, platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, if you really think about how these platforms built their multi-billion-dollar corporations, it was on the back of the average user. It was not on the back of the large influencers. The average user consumes content, they create content, they engage with content, and they ultimately are the ones getting served the ads. So, these platforms generated all their value from ad revenue. And that ad revenue is derived by the average user. It's not derived by the top level creator. So, the top level creators obviously spur engagement and they're a big piece of the equation. But that being said, the average user is the one that's generating that value and those page views. So, I've kind of adapted our mission statement a little bit as I've realized that and realized that we need to chase after this more niche environment of these small to medium creators because really, when you look at Web 2 platforms, all the money is earned by the top 1%. So it's like going to a third world country where you're either very poor or you're very rich, and there is no middle class. And that is how social media works on Web 2. There's no middle class. If you're a very successful creator, you make millions of dollars a year. If you're a low level or medium level creator, you likely make nothing or very little, not enough to support yourself. So go around and talk to influencers that are small to medium sized and ask them what their pain points are with social media, and they're going to describe pretty much what I just laid out. So that's where I think Inleo can step in and be, be a completely new platform where these small to medium creators can actually, monetize themselves, and also ensure that they can't get removed from the platform. That's another thing is the top 1% of creators on other platforms can make noise when they get removed, and then they can ultimately get added back. What happens when a medium size, someone with 100,000 followers gets removed, and then they start posting on another platform that X banned them or LinkedIn banned them or YouTube banned them? Nobody gives a shit. Google doesn't care. Meta doesn't care. But when like Trump gets banned or something, he's got such a large audience that those platforms have to be kind of scared of what happens when their audience comes after them. So I think that's kind of a valuable aspect of, two really valuable aspects of what we're building here, is not creating a alternative to Web 2, but adding something new to the universe, adding something new to the toolkit where these small and medium-sized creators can actually come somewhere, not be afraid of getting banned, and also monetize themselves instantly, no matter how small their audience is. Self-help for Trolls said, was busy on X and YouTube for a year, made $0. Yeah, and I would, and that's not uncommon. That's pretty much that is the experience of 99% of people that try to create content on X or YouTube, is that they will make $0 for their entire lifetime of using those platforms. But I would challenge anybody here to go find me an Inleo user who signs up, uses the platform regularly for a year, and earns $0. I actually think it's impossible. It would be very, it's literally impossible. Just to not get one single upvote worth 1 cent. You could come into one Threadcast for the AMA, get one upvote, and already earn like 10 cents. So that is really our kind of niche that we need to go after, in my opinion. And if we're successful, even think about like moderate success in achieving this niche. Like we could have 100,000 monthly active users of small to medium sized creators and consumers, which could mean 10,000 premium subscribers, and then who knows how many creator subscriptions that could be out there, as well, where the platform is earning a small fee and then all the creators are earning the rest.
Big Ben's comment made me realize something, or I don't know if it was Big Ben's. I lost the comment, but is there going to be a way for creators to gift 1 month for free and then let people keep subscribing? And also, oh yeah, I remember which comment was. So also the subscription model is going to allow creators to also monetize through the referral system. So they will actually get paid to migrate their subscription base. So if they had, I don't know, 100,000 users subscribed on Substack, and they bring them all to Inleo, they will get, I don't remember, I think it's 30 cents for per user, I think around the price of Leo right now. So if they bring all of them, they already have a kickstarting reward just for bringing them, and then they can just keep subscribing to the author. I also have another question.
Yeah, on that point, it's with the referral system that we built. This was all kind of laid out in the roadmap. With the referral system that we built and in place, like you said, a creator can come in and they can earn up to $50 per referral. So, consider that a creator with 10,000 followers on X or Substack or whatever comes in, and let's say that they bring 1,000 users with them. And with those 1,000 users, they also have their 1,000 users subscribe to them as through the creator subscription. Onboarding them means that they can earn, maxed out at $50,000 for that 1,000 users, which is obviously insane. And then they also can earn the recurring revenue, which at 1,000 subscribers and $5 per subscriber would be $5,000 a month minus the 1% fee. So it would be nearly $5,000 per month and a $50,000 sign up bonus. So you can almost imagine it like a creator getting like a contract with us, but it's all automated and on chain where they get like a $50,000 sign up bonus and then they get $5,000 a month if they can keep their subscriber base active and following and subscribe to them. So that's and obviously the 50,000 doesn't just come for free. Like their subscriber base has to sign up, get active, sign up for premium, like do a lot of things to get to that full number. Otherwise, it'll be something lower than that. But the theoretical max of what a creator could earn is just extremely huge with the referral system and creator subscriptions both in place.
Yeah, and also one more question. So, yeah, is there going to be, and this is my question, is there going to be any way, I think, a Hive allow something like that, to allow people to pay with US dollars or any other coin, and then have a system that we can just buy the HBD and pay for it? I don't know, maybe it could be, I don't know, 550 if you want to pay with USD, and then $5 if you want to pay with HBD or something like that? Or do people have to get the HBD to get subscribed?
Yeah, so I have an idea to tie this into Leo Dex. So hopefully by the end of the year we'll have something on that front. But the idea would be you could subscribe. So the entire payment rail, which includes premium and creator subscriptions, and then obviously Leo ads when that goes live. Would all include this. But essentially what you'd be able to do is pay with any form of crypto, and then Leo Dex would automatically convert it and then send it to the corresponding account on the Hive blockchain, which would then activate your subscription. So for example, like let's say you've got let's say you want to do Inleo Premium for a year, which would be $100 or 100 HBD. You would be able to go to the premium screen, click subscribe, choose the 1 year option, and then choose what currency you want to pay with. And you'd be able to choose any crypto that is on Leo Dex. So that would be like native Bitcoin, native Ethereum, USDC on Arbitrum, Dash, all these different currencies that are on Leo Dex. You could choose any of those. Click one button to, obviously like connect your wallet and send that payment. And then it would auto convert that into 100 HBD, send it to the @Leo pool account, which would then activate your subscription on Inleo. So yeah, it would be in theory, really then any crypto, because Maya is slowly pretty much integrating every single blockchain out there, through them and Thorchain and then Chainflip and all the aggregators. So yeah, in the future, I think, in the not so distant future, I think in the next couple months, you'll be able to subscribe to premium on Inleo and creator subscriptions. And then obviously with Leo ads, you'll be able to pay for Leo ad space using any crypto out there.
Nice. As long as they don't do it on Ethereum, they'll be fine. I checked, and the fees right now to buy a token are around $20-$30. So
Yeah, Ethereum fees are pretty rough. But that being said, I have seen them sometimes where you can like send ETH for like under $1. So it kind of depends. But yeah, the interface would have all the fees calculated and included for the user.
yeah, Bushcrap Byte says will encrypted content be eligible to for ads and evergreen rewards? I think it wouldn't, right?
Yeah, no, well, encrypted content, you can still put ad space by encrypted content. It would just have to be a whole separate section of the ad platform. So essentially the way the ad platform works is if you've ever used like Facebook ads or Google ads or X ads, you get to create a campaign and formulate a target audience. And then your ad goes out in a targeted way to that audience. So you could actually choose to target Taskmaster's subscribers, for example, and then your ad could target his subscribers. So yeah, in theory, yeah, there's no reason why you couldn't. You obviously would just have a much more limited audience since only the subscribers of that person could see that specific content.
Yeah, and it would actually make sense because then you have two segments of potential ad revenue or potential ad placement, and we are still respecting the user-based data, and we are not, scraping or categorizing people or content, and we would just say, hey, so this ad would go to the freemium users, and this ad would go to premium users. We don't know what kind of premium users because we don't collect data, but the only thing that you would know is that these users pay for content. So they might be they might have a little higher purchase power. And that's just a good enough reason to segment. But I don't know, I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah, when Leo Ads goes live, I think there's going to be a lot of cool segmentation that we can do. Godfish said, "Are there global subscription stats available?" And yeah, for creator subscriptions, there's no global stats available. I mean, you can go to the, we'll add some kind of leaderboard at some point. But for now, you could just go to @Leo subscriptions and you can obviously tally things up from there. Walter J said, after the second subscriber, you basically get premium for free on top of premium also paying for itself through, and he's referring to the @Leo.voter upvotes that you also receive by being premium, in addition to all the extra Leo that you get by more curation in general. So yeah, I mean, I think and that's a big reason why we put the creator subscription feature behind premium. Premium just pays for itself in so many ways, and creator subscriptions adds obviously another layer to that. If you go premium and you launch a creator subscription and you get at least 2 subscribers, your premium already is paying for itself, on top of all the other, obviously votes and whatnot that you earn from being premium as well. Task said, for 5 HBD, you should be able to almost justify the full cost through private threads, then add in posts and soon threadcasts and shorts. Yeah. And I saw Taskmaster's short earlier today, talking about that, as well. And I completely agree. So like, if you're a subscriber of mine and you're commenting regularly on the private threads and the private blog posts that I'm putting out there for my subscribers only, I'm upvoting all the replies that I get. So if you're a subscriber of mine, you're also getting upvotes from me, that can help cover your cost of subscribing to me. So there's a lot of use cases here, and there's a lot of, like I just described for premium as well, just the fact that we have the rewards pool and we have everything on chain, and rewarded and tokenized, gives us a lot of interesting kind of economic fallouts, that I think kind of all stack up, and it's a vertical stack that really kind of feeds itself.
Yeah, and well, this is my opinion, but Hive in general has always had this approach of allowing everyone to be a content creator, and that's fine because you can monetize your content, you can monetize your brand. That's amazing because it gives pretty much the 8 billion people in the world a chance to create content and make money. But in the end, in regular social media or traditional social media, 99% of the user base are content consumers. So the fact that subscriptions are here on Inleo is incredibly good because, as I said, Hive enables everyone to be a content creator and monetize, and Inleo builds on top of this, to allow people to actually make a substantial amount of money by being content creators. But the thing that happens in traditional social media is that creators with a subscription tier model, they actually make a strategy and they find ways to provide value to their users, because in the end they are competing with all of the other content creators. So if you want to have your own subscription and you want to make it work for you, you have to make it appealing for people to subscribe, right? So just think of that, and if you're going to do it right and take it seriously, and it can change your life. There are people who are making tens of thousands of dollars out of their paywall content. And they also have free content to lure in people and to make people say, oh, if this is a freemium content, I can't imagine what the premium content is going to be. And then they subscribe to you, and then maybe you have 100 subscriptions, and then you have $500 every single month, but then you have to deliver. And if you want to deliver correctly, you have to make strategy. So 100% this can change paradigms of how blockchain-based social media works, but it's not easy. Like everything, you have to build a brand, you have to build a user base, and you have to build a good content funnel so that people stay subscribed to you.
Yeah, it's up to you as a creator to, make things successful at the end of the day. And I saw a lot of people saying things like, they don't know why people would subscribe and pay 5 HBD a month to any creator. But they're the ones that don't understand that, when you provide value to your audience, that's, they have a reason to pay you. So either they want to support you or they want access to things that other people don't have, or X, Y, and Z reason that the creator creates around their subscription. That's entirely up to the creator and then their subscribers. So I just posted a link to the 1000 True Fans article from Kevin Kelly, which I refer to pretty frequently. When you build an audience that is loyal to you and you give them good content and you give them a reason to stick around and kind of cheer for you, you create super fans. And those fans are willing to do, anything to stay in touch with you and get more access to you. And I put this in the NLEO Finance blog post that describes the whole creator subscription release. And if this model didn't work, then explain why the top 5 creators on Substack collectively make like I think it's like $25 million a month, just from the top 5 on Substack. And then you've obviously got the whole spectrum down from there, of people that are creating content on Substack and getting paid for it. Then you also have the success of Patreon. Obviously OnlyFans kind of being like the dark example of everything, but still a very successful platform where fans are paying to get access to somebody. All these different platforms have created subscription models that work very well. And then Twitch, I think Twitch is one of my favorite examples of this. The majority of creators, the creators on Twitch are making tons of money per month, and the majority of their income is from subscriber revenue. And really on Twitch, being a subscriber means that during the live stream, you have like an extra, you have extra emotes, you have a banner next to your name. A lot of the top streamers also do sub only mode when they stream. So you actually have to be subscribed to even comment during a live stream. So, we're going to add that to Threadcasts, where it's going to be very much the same thing. So a creator can turn on sub only mode, or they can just filter for subscriber only comments. So you look around to these other platforms and you see that this subscriber method and model has been extremely successful. So I know that it kind of rejects certain social norms around Hive and content creation on Hive, being that you could just create free content and people upvote it. This is like a whole new thing, and we've added it to the blockchain and we've brought it to Web3, which nobody else has done before. So, still continue to make your blog posts, and Task talked about this. Continue to make your free blog posts and your free threads and your free shorts. Put those out into the world and continue to build your audience and your subscriber base, your 1000 true fans, and then monetize yourself by putting some of it behind a paywall. And I think that that's just a really good business model. And I want to see more people making use of it. Ahmad Manga said, I don't think you should judge by top members. You should judge by the median members. Well, see, that's the entire mission of Inleo. And what I was describing before is that the median members, the middle class, doesn't really exist on these other platforms. What really exists is a top and bottom approach. It's you're either very rich or you're very poor, much like a third world country. And that's what Inleo, aims to solve, is that anybody can come to Inleo, launch a newsletter, launch a podcast, start creating content, and immediately start earning from the rewards pool, in addition to then building their brand and then launching a creator subscription. And everyone kind of has that opportunity. It's kind of like, equal opportunity, not equal outcome. I think on other Web2 platforms, there is not equal opportunity, for a lot of different reasons, being drowned out by the noise, the way the algorithms work. The opportunity is not super equal on those platforms. But on Inleo, it's a small platform, it's still growing. Your ability to carve out a niche here is much higher than those other platforms. And the fact that everything's tokenized really adds to that as well. Yeah, mod manga, all that stuff is coming to Threadcast. Vic
Emoji
Van
reactions
said
and threadcasts.
the Inleo interface is the top rewarding interface out there. Yeah, well, Inleo is the only place where you can earn Leo and Hive at the same time. So if it's really the only UI where you can earn both. Um,
Sub-only comments. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're having a conversation about exactly this. Cal's pondering the options of having sub-only comments, show them, not show them, allow people to see a glimpse of the comments or the content, etc. So remember, this is just the first launch, and there will be improvements, and we will change things as we go based on your feedback and based on the performance of the feature. So just like we've done with polls, with even with threads, with everything, with shorts, everything that we launch, it's constantly improved based on both feedback and performance. Guri said, is there any way the non-subscribers will be able to know how many private threads content creators posting? I imagine we'll include that in the dashboard at one point. I don't think, or I don't see it as a priority right now, but I mean, the dashboard is only going to get bulkier and more with more information. So
Yeah, I'm picturing, one of the things that we need to add is on the profile pages, the private threads and private blogs feeds still. So I'm still working on the design of that. And one thing I think I'm going to put there is, the kind of statistics on it. Like, this author has posted, a total of 1,000 private threads and, 300 in the past month, for example. Self-Help Patrol said, what other changes do you plan on making to the subscription feature? Curious what's coming. Yeah, some of the things I've mentioned, like the kind of total information, subscriber lists, profiles, feeds, those are kind of like the main things. And then obviously adding encrypted videos. I just need to figure that out with 3Speak. And like I've mentioned, there's a workaround. So I plan on doing a private video every week for my creator subscription. And the way I'm going to work around that until we figure it out with 3Speak is that I'll just post a private video on YouTube, and you have to be a subscriber of mine in order to get the link. So there's kind of a workaround with that, if you want to do private videos in the meantime. And then all the Threadcast features. So having like a sub-only mode, having the ability to filter by subs. So for example, with this Threadcast, we're not going to make it sub-only mode. I want the whole community to be able to participate. But what we will have is a extra button. So you can just imagine it to the left of the author button, the drop-down menu. You'll be able to filter by subscribers and non-subscribers. For example, we could have a portion of this AMA that is for my subscribers only. So we'll just take like questions only from Cal's subscribers for 10 minutes, for example. So there's a lot of us putting these tools in place gives you guys a lot of leverage in order to make of it what you want. But those are some of the things coming. Tass said subscriptions mean people have to work. I know it's taboo in the crypto world where people are looking for handouts and not willing to do anything. Those who are willing to take a business approach can succeed. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I mean, a lot of people have some reward entitlement, and I think that that's why you see a lot of resistance to ideas like this. but at the end of the day, they can sit there and be, entitled and mad about it. But at the like, the top creators are the ones who are going to cash in and really make make the most of this stuff and earn a living from it. So I think we're going to see a massive shift in who earns the most money every month as a creator on Hive. Right now, it's primarily the Hive rewards pool and the Leo rewards pool that dictate who is the top paid author. This gives me a good idea that I didn't think about before, but Eric, maybe you can write it down and help me with it. We should reach out to Dals, who does all the statistics on Hive, and then he could pull the data from SQL on who, in addition to looking at the Hive author rewards and the Leo author rewards, he could also look at the Hive author rewards, Leo author rewards, and the creator subscription revenue, and use that data when he pulls the top Hive creators and how much they earn. So, for example, it might be really interesting to see, like, let's just say Taskmaster is like number 5 on the top paid authors on Hive list based on Hive rewards and Leo rewards. When you add in creator subscriptions, does he suddenly jump to number 1 when it's all added together? So that could be a cool statistic as well. But yeah, it requires it's like that's why I posted that 1,000 True Fans article. I think if you take an approach like that, you focus on giving value to your audience, and then you have all these tools in place to help you monetize. The potential is limitless. You can be onboarding people, you could be getting them to subscribe to you and follow you and upvote you, and you're suddenly. I think the really kind of exciting thing is you've got this brand, you've got your daily schedule of content every day. And then you've got all these tools to monetize yourself. So you're really putting out your content, you're building your audience, and then you're earning rewards, you're earning money in all these different ways. You're earning Leo, you're earning Hive, you're earning HBD. You've got creators subscriptions, you've got people subscribe to you every month. You're referring in users on other platforms, so you're also earning referral rewards. There's 5+ ways where you're earning revenue as a creator on Inleo. So it's really up to you then, how much are you going to earn is based on how successful are you on the platform. So it's time to see a lot of creators kind of step up and take a, more meritocratic approach. And
Yeah, and in the end, this is, I just want to make it clear for the Lions here, the reason why we're able to do all of this and build on top of the base layer of Leo, which is built on top of the base layer of Hive, is because the devs made the infrastructure to be able to create all of these features without having a Frankenstein website, which is what happened when we launched the new interface. Because I don't know if you remember, if you were 2 years ago here, you remember that we had a completely different interface made like with sectors or with sections, and right now it all interacts with each other, so it feels more fluid, more intuitive, and at the same time we can add a bunch of things on top of it without without breaking the user experience or making it feel like some feature doesn't belong there. So yeah, just know that this is just the beginning. There's a lot more features coming, and the interface is ready to withstand them. No, I don't know the word is withstanding, to support all of this. Just like polls. Polls work on threads, polls work on posts, and whatever kind of content there is, the infrastructure is there to support them everywhere. So just like any other content or any other feature, the website can interact with all of it as a whole.
absolutely. I think we're good to, I know you got to run. I also have to run. I've just got a few things. I'll just lightning round these last 4 questions, then we can jump off. Vic Van said must creators publish their content through Inleo before their subscribers can have access to it. So when someone subscribes to you, they get access to all your current, future, and past private content. So if you posted something a week ago to your private threads feed, then if someone subscribes today, they will get access to that in addition to everything else that you post. So no, there's no rules about when you have to publish or anything like that. It's when someone is subscribed to you, they instantly get the ability to encrypt all of your private content or decrypt it. Andersino said, who does Cal want to see start a creator subscription on Inleo that isn't on the platform today? There's a lot of people out there. I want to talk to Joel from Dash. I've already told Eric I want to talk to I'm blanking on her name. She was one of the musicians, Losi from Hive Fest. So I would love to see her join. The Hive borehole project isn't on Hive, or they are on Hive, but they're not on Inleo. And I think that they could be a really interesting kind of new use case for creator subscriptions, which is more of a donation as a charity, because that's what they are. So I think that they could be using creator subscriptions as an actual like method of collecting monthly donations. So I could see a lot of really interesting use cases, and I hope to see more creators join. So if you guys know any creators, obviously go tell them. And then, me and Eric have been working with creators and trying to onboard them. And like I said, that whole process of trying to onboard creators is actually kind of what led us down this path of building all of this. We're addressing a lot of the pain points that we hear from these creators. Ahmad Manga's asked about an API to see who's subscribed in real time. I'm adding that to my bookmarks because I do think that that's a good thing for us to build. So I'll work on getting an API added so that people like you who want to build stuff for their subscribers can make use of that. SSIG said, I can see a little purple crown by the premium tick on some users. Does that indicate who subscribed? Yeah, so you get a purple crown if you're subscribed to any creator on the platform. And then when you hover over a user who has a purple crown, it will actually show you exactly who they're subscribed to. So that's how that works. Already answered that one. All right, I'm caught up. Task said he's going to make his first creator sub post and see how it works. Yeah, that's nice. I'm also going to make my first one. So I've been working on my first newsletter. So I'm going to be doing that weekly newsletter I mentioned. And then I posted a blog post on my personal account, so you can go read that. And it has all the details of what I'll be offering in my creator subscription. So behind the scenes looks at everything that's going on with Inleo, a newsletter each week talking about, my portfolio and some crypto investment stuff. And then a private video every week, and then also one live private AMA each week. So an AMA that's kind of like this one, but only for my subscribers. And then I'll actually like unveil the roadmap to you guys. So if you're a subscriber of mine, you'll actually see the roadmap, which the public eye doesn't really get to see. So, and then I will take live feedback on it. So I could potentially, if you're a subscriber of mine, you could be dictating which features actually come next and how fast they come. So Self Help for Trolls said he already put out a sub only post. So if you're not subscribed to him, go subscribe to him. I'm actually going to go. I don't think I'm subscribed to you yet. I'm going to go. No, I'm not. I'm going to subscribe to you right now, live on air. I am your newest subscriber. But yeah, that's all I got. Eric, any closing thoughts?
Doing it live. No closing thoughts. Well, I think I was pretty clear on how I see the subscription model. It's a great opportunity for anyone who wants to actually make this content creation thing, pay for a living. You just need to take it seriously, like anything in life. You just have to put in the work, put in the hours, put in the effort. And I mean, it can definitely work. It works for thousands of people on other platforms. So it can definitely work for anyone here on Inleo. So just take it seriously.
Yeah, take it seriously, work hard, build your brand. Self-Help Patrol said, I'll subscribe to you too. You said I could dictate you. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I am now subscribed to you. And I'll be looking for, I mean, I'll really subscribe to anybody who puts out, good sub-only stuff. So I'm already subscribed to a couple of you, like Task and a few others. So yeah, I see Task he's got a couple subscriptions. 7? Is that 7? That's pretty insane. So Tess already subscribed to 7 people. It looks like I'm slacking. I don't know what I've got. Let's see. I'm subscribed to 6. All right, I will be stepping on my game. But yeah, good episode today. Possibly a chain chatter tomorrow. I'll talk to Eric and see if we've got the got the other team ready and ready to go for tomorrow, and then we'll put out some announcements if we do. Also, special announcement. I'm going to be on the Dash podcast this coming Friday. I'm not sure what time it
Nice.
is. Yeah, I'm not sure what time it is yet. I was just talking to Joel this morning, but so they're going to put out some announcements on X and on Inleo as well. So I will retweet and post those and rethread them. And yeah, so maybe chain chatter tomorrow. We'll be doing the growth call on Thursday, normal 1 p.m. Eastern, Lions Den by Taskmaster on Friday. And then at some point on Friday, we'll figure out the time and announce it. I will be on the Dash podcast. But that's it for today. Thanks, Eric. And thanks, Mitch, who had to jump off early. And we'll see you guys later this week.
See you guys. Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, Kyle.
Yep. Thanks. See ya.